For the last few decades, the electronics store's landscape has undergone many changes as today's customers turn to Best Buy, BrandsMart, Target, and Walmart. It wasn't long ago before they invested money in the now-defunct stores such as Circuit City, Comp USA, and HHGregg. If you are excited to ride down memory lane, we have a top pick of the most recognizable electronics stores that no longer exist. Before we get started, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and tap the bell icon to get notified about our latest videos and content. Number 6. Hi-Fi Buys. Based out of Atlanta, Georgia, Hi-Fi Buys was founded in 1973 by Mel Silverman. Hi-Fi Buys may not be the most known electronics store unless you are a Georgia native. In 20 years, it grew to 10 stores at its peak before being sold to Tweeter Inc. for $120 million in 1997. Although it retained its name, all of its stores were shuttered once parent company Tweeter filed for bankruptcy. The name itself was put up for auction in 2009, along with the other 12 chains Tweeter had acquired. In 2015, a store by the name of Audio Alternative adopted the Hi-Fi Buys nameplate and rebranded its store to the name after 20 years in business. It is currently located in Buckhead, Georgia, across the street from the first showroom it opened. There is also a location that is still in operation in Nashville, Tennessee, which is unrelated. Number 5. The Good Guy. As it has no affiliation with the Good Guy dolls that brought us the Child Play series and Chucky, but it was an electronics retailer that was founded in 1973 by Ronald A. Unkeefer as a television store in San Francisco, California. As Unkeefer didn't plan on being a major player in the electronic field, he opened a second store in 1976 once new technologies such as VCRs and stereo systems were introduced as he began to see growth opportunities. By the 1980s, the company had up to 4 stores in which it opened its first location outside the Bay Area when it opened 2 stores in the Sacramento area, targeting more of an upscale consumer base. In the 1990s, the company had grown to 30 stores and began opening 6 new stores in Los Angeles, which brought them competition against many other electronic stores, notably Circuit City, which had stores nearby. Currently, it operated stores in Nevada, Oregon, and Washington. In the late 90s, after founder Ronald Unkeefer resigned from the company and sales began to slow down after the emergence of new technologies, and stores like Best Buy and Circuit City were able to keep its stores stocked with music and video. By 2003, with the company at its peak of 60-plus stores, it was acquired by Comp USA, in which 13 stores were renamed and the remaining locations closed. This chain is not affiliated with the Australian company of the same name. Number 4. Tweeter. Based out of Boston, Massachusetts, Tweeter was founded by 2 cousins, Sandy and Michael Bloomberg, in 1972. They focused primarily on custom installation of electronics for homes and automobiles. Most of its early stores were boutique stores and offered prices more expensive than its big box competitors to target customers who were more concerned with value than price. By the 1980s, Michael had left the company and the chain had up to 20 stores by the 1990s. The company wanted to expand into new markets and did so through acquisitions of Bryan Marr Stereo in 1996, Atlanta-based Hi-Fi Buys, which was mentioned earlier, in 1997, San Diego's Dow Stereo Video in 1999, just to name a few. This gave the company a presence in the Southeast and Midwest. In 2008, after an attempt of reviving the company in the prior year, it filed for Chapter 11 reorganization, to which later switched to a Chapter 7 liquidation. The company's failure was due to the poor economy and expanding too quickly by purchasing different store chains and changing the corporate culture. Number 3. HHGregg. Founded by Henry Harold and Fancy Gregg in 1955 in the north side of Indianapolis, it would open a second location in 1969, followed by a third location in 1987. In 2007, the chain was up to 77 stores. In 2009, the company opened 22 new stores, primarily in the former recently defunct Circuit City stores around that time. At this time, HHGregg operated 125 stores in 9 states. In 2010, it opened its first stores in the Virginia Beach area, and in 2011, brought 10 stores to the South Florida area. In 2012, it entered the Wisconsin and Louisiana areas. In 2017, without finding a buyer, the company closed all stores, and later that year, the brand and intellectual property was purchased by Valor Group for a reported $400,000. A brick-and-mortar store was opened in 2019 in Franklin Township, New Jersey. However, the new store and website is not affiliated with the original company that went out of business. Number 2. Circuit City. Founded by Samuel S. Wurtzel in 1949 as Ward's Company that sold televisions and home appliances, which eventually grew to 4 stores by 1959. It wasn't until 1984 when it changed its name to what we know today as Circuit City. In 1989, it began to sell its first line of personal computers. Circuit City started rolling out the CarMax retail stores and sold used cars in 1993, which was eventually spun off into its own company in 2002. In the 2000s, the company had abandoned its showroom format and went to a more self-service big box format to try to compete with Best Buy. Appliances were also removed to make room for smaller electronics, games, and more computer space. In 2007, the wages for employees were dropped to cut costs, and many associates were laid off in the process. They also closed a few underperforming stores and a distribution center to cut costs and improve its financial performance. In 2008, Blockbuster announced a bid worth $1 billion to purchase the chain, but withdrew its offer due to market conditions. Circuit City later announced that it was closing 155 stores by the end of that year. In January 2009, the chain began liquidating its stores, which concluded in March of that year. The chain has since been revived as an online retailer in 2018 and announced plans to open a store within a store concept chain. As of 2021, the company's website has an application for any specialty retailer to partner with them. Before we get to the last store on the list, here are our honorable mentions.
It's not a lot of money to put heads on your bodies. Stop by or call us at 1-800-GATEWAY.
What's up, Scotty, and hurry. No, let me show you something in a high-tech video system.
Window document in 3 seconds with Phoenix Eclipse Find.
We're everything you're looking for. USA.
Number 1. Fry's Electronics. Fry's was founded in Silicon Valley in 1985 and opened its first store in Sunnydale. At the beginning, the store sold both groceries and electronics and means of being a one-stop shop for tech workers. The original location shuttered after the company expanded with its second store designed to look like the interior of a giant computer. In 1997, the chain purchased stores from its rival Incredible Universe, in which 6 stores were acquired. During the late 2008 recession, Fry's major competitors Circuit City and CompUSA both collapsed, leaving Micro Center and Newegg as its main competitors. In 2014, Fry's operated a total of 34 brick-and-mortar stores in the U.S., with the oldest store in Palo Alto closing in 2019. In 2020, the company closed 3 locations permanently without notice, after stating that the Palo Alto store would be the only location. On February 23, 2021, news sources claimed that all employees were given notices that all remaining stores would close, with the company already deleting its Facebook page and disabling its Twitter account. The Fry's website, as well as the physical stores, were shut down a day later. Liquidation of the remaining assets of the company didn't begin until April 2021. Well, that's all we have for our list of forgotten electronic stores. If you liked today's video, please tap the thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below if you have ever shopped at any of these stores or recall any great memories of them.